Welcome to another episode of Inside Access Control, sponsored by SIA. Very excited today to have the team from Rosslare join me. We've got a group. They're from all over the country, and actually internationally. So I'll let them introduce themselves. But team, thank you very much for taking the time to join us. Pretty excited to have you share your company's message. So thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks for having us.
Yeah, absolutely. So why don't you jump on, introduce yourself, and then what you cover and where you're at, and then we'll jump into sort of an overview of the organization, and then talk about some of the phase changes that are going on right now.
I'm the Eastern U.S. Regional Sales Manager. I cover everything from the Mississippi East to the Atlantic Ocean, and I cover all of Eastern Canada as well. Spend a lot of time in the Toronto area. We do a fair amount of business up that way. From basically Toronto down to Maine, I would be your contact should you have the need for access control services, system design, etc. Been in the industry for over almost 30 years, and we have some great products and looking forward to talking about them.
My name is Greg PENINGER. I'm Dave's counterpart west of the Mississippi, so to include Illinois and Wisconsin. And if you follow the Mississippi all the way up through Canada, I'm everything central and west. There, like Dave, I've been in industry a couple of years, 25 and counting. It's been a good industry. Glad to be a part of it. Thanks again for having us.
Thank you. Appreciate you all taking the time to do this. So why don't we jump into it? So companies has a real rich history. I think it'd be appropriate to have you give a little bit of background for those of the people that may not be up to speed on exactly what you do, and then we'll jump into, as we said before, some of the phase changes. So
Rosslare has been in the U.S. since 1980. We have all of our U.S. operations are based out of Dallas, Texas, more appropriately South Lake, Texas, which is just south of Dallas. We do have distribution-only model. We do not sell to the end user, but we sell a variety of access controls, standalone readers. We are a true manufacturer. We do not buy all of our products through other manufacturers. We have our own facility that's family owned. Rosslare is a family owned business, and it not only does the family operate out of Tel Aviv, Israel, but it also operates out of Hong Kong. Just outside of Hong Kong is where our factory is. And we make a variety of products that people don't even realize who we build readers and OEM for.
So let's talk about a bit the marketplace as it is. It's a little bit of disruption, if you would say, going on right now for a lot of people. But as two people that cover the United States and North America up into Canada, and that you're in touch with a lot of the distributors and dealers and end users, I'm sure. So if you would, how are things going currently right now, and sort of what impacts are you seeing with the business when it comes to maybe some of the trends that are people asking for? But then also, I'm sure the messaging has changed a bit since before this was happening to now. So what are you seeing?
This is definitely picking up. We're getting, as more and more states open up and for the most part, the security industry hasn't been affected as some other businesses. Most communities are acknowledging we're essential business, but certainly touchless options with our Bluetooth app. We're seeing more and more demand for touchless options. Also, I'm seeing a bit of an uptick on our wireless. They want to integrate an outbuilding or something like that, and into the fold, and so we're seeing more requirements for wireless solutions as well.
Right now, in this very uncertain times, the touchless aspect of access control is huge. We actually have a video on our Facebook page of a touchless solution that's very informative as to how you can do something like this. We do have the passive Rex buttons. The Bluetooth, like Greg said, we have our long-range readers, our AY915, our AYU920s, our long-range gate products, and then of course we have our 6255 and our 6355 Bluetooth readers as well that are both proximity. They can be keypad, and they also are Bluetooth, and it's a very affordable solution. But it's the direction that seems to be growing in popularity, along with the biometrics.
Yeah, absolutely, I do believe that the sort of touchless side. It's funny to see. We went from seamless and frictionless, and then overnight, I feel like the convenience conversation within the security conversation, where, you know, it's always been about safety. Then we had convenience, and then it got T-boned by health, and all of a sudden we went right into touchless, which good for us is that it's the industry wise, you know, it utilized a lot of the same technology that already existed. It was just how we message it and print, you know, and package it together so we could quickly get up and get running on that end. So with that, and seeing that that's sort of the push that everyone's doing right now, how do you all view the rollout of this going to be? So if you had to put your crystal ball out and say, all right, for the next, call it 6 months, it's going to look like this, and then long term, if you have any views on what you think, sort of the longing impact. You know, if you look at 9/11, a lot of people are talking about that was one of those touch points that people can look back and say, you know, this is, the industry changed a bit due to that. Everyone's talking about now that this is going to be the same type of, if not greater. How do you all view that?
The biggest issue right now is awareness, and that awareness is basically going to be, okay, we're aware of this, how do we create a solution? And getting product information out as far as understanding, having for the integrators out there, the low voltage experts, giving them the understanding of how they can create this solution is probably going to be the biggest step going forward, that it does exist, it's here and now, and it's a solution that's foolproof and will meet the needs that they require. But once again, it takes it back to understanding what you have, how it works, and what are the integration possibilities. That's going to be the biggest challenge, is making sure everybody understands. I had a conversation just yesterday with a large distributor here in the East, over 35 locations, and the whole conversation was based on the Bluetooth aspect of our readers and having an understanding of how they work and how they would work with existing systems, and just basically getting that knowledge out there, that knowledge base of understanding what is Bluetooth and how does it work and what does it cost. And that's probably the biggest challenges I'm seeing right now, is just creating that understanding.
Right. And if I could dovetail to that, you know, it's really gearing more towards what 9/11 did for video. I think we're going to see in the access control world, access without interaction. So going back to the wireless, what we talked about with Bluetooth and our long range readers, we want our customers, end users, to be able to gain access to certain parts of the building that are secure, but without actually having to physically touch or interact with anyone. So that aspect of it, I think, is really, you're going to see a ton of retrofitting. The technology is really going to ramp up with R&D, and Near and his guys are really doing a great job as far as, so, you know, somewhat reading the tea leaves and trying to discern, you know, what does 5 years look like? You know, how is our face going to change over the next 5 years, especially as related to technology?
Yeah, absolutely. I would 100% agree, and I like that analogy, that 9/11 to video and this to access. I really believe you're actually right. So on that, so if people want to find out more information and learn more about your solutions and get some of the training in that, what's the best way to get a hold of you?
We have a website that's done by our technical support manager, Larry Barnes, out of Dallas. It's www.axtraxng.com. It's more of a dealer portal than it is for the general public. It does give you a lot of information, but it also has a very lengthy and informative section regarding what our readers are, what type of readers we have, and how we can fit your needs. There's how-to videos on there. There's manuals and wiring diagrams, as well as software updates. The software updates, we recommend everybody go to the Axtrax NG website when they're updating their software, because we're always going to have the latest version of the software available on that website. There's also a hot link on there for email tech support as well. It's a very, very informative website. We do have RosslareSecurity.com, which has your cut sheets, etc. But I would recommend the Axtrax NG. I think, Greg, you would agree with me on that?
Right. Absolutely. And with that, I'll plug our Facebook group and YouTube channel as well. That is really a supplementary to the Axtrax NG. It's, you know, Rosslare is a global company. We have facilities throughout the world, and the sun never sets on Rosslare. But North America has some specific needs, and so we try to address that with our own Facebook group. So you look for Rosslare Security North America. Likewise with our YouTube channel, Rosslare Security North America, and you'll find North American related content and lines that we're actually engaged in supporting in. And of course, you can reach out to Dave and I individually. We'd be glad to talk to you and set up a webinar or Zoom meeting or whatever with you and your team. And fact is, we can virtually assist you with your sales calls as well.
In the last 3 weeks, Greg and I and Larry Barnes have been doing webinars and Facebook Lives. And we did a webinar on Tuesday that was hugely received. We had a great attendance, and we're going to continue to do those. So if you're interested for your business, please reach out to us. We'll be happy to do one for you.
Thank you very much for taking the time to do this. Really appreciate you sharing your message and giving some background on the company. And it sounds like you have a lot of resources when it comes to the training side. So would encourage everyone to go take a look. So thank you, and stay healthy.
You too, Lee.
Thanks so much.
Thank you. You too.